Hi, this is Brett Lonsdale with Lightning Tools, and today we're going to be taking a look at Lightning Tools Form Studio and how you can use Lightning Tools Form Studio to build solutions throughout your SharePoint Online environment. So we've got an example form to show you today, and that is around incident reporting for health and safety. So of course you can use Lightning Forms or Lightning Tools Form Studio to build all sorts of different solutions, things like expense reporting or purchase orders, etc. But this one shows you quite a rich scenario and how you can not just design powerful business forms, but how you can also add automation and styling as well, which makes your solution richer. So within inside of this incident reporting list, we can create a new incident report by clicking onto the new button. And you'll notice in there that we've got a wide panel, and the wide panel is made up of multiple tabs where we can record the incident details. We can also record the details of the person reporting the incident, and then we've also got the ability to add multiple witnesses as well using a sublist. We can then save and submit, which does more than just save the item. There's actually automation there as well, so it's going to notify the right people that an incident has occurred, so we can start to investigate and take action on that. And if we just cancel that one and have a look at an existing item, notice how we can also modify the display form and the edit form as well independently, and that gives us the ability to add more functionality, such as the ability to see the process steps, so we can always track where in the process this form is. So this one we can see is ready to be resolved. We've got the same section here where we've got the incident details, the reporter and the witnesses, but as we scroll down, there's also another section which shows the action that has been taken, and also if there's anything that needs to be recorded as the resolution. And again, we could mark that as resolved as well using the button at the top there. So there's lots more to this form, and what we're going to do is just have a look at how this has been put together along with some of the automation actions as well using the Lightning Tools Form Studio. So let's go into it. And here inside the Solution Designer, you're able to create solutions away from the actual SharePoint environment. So it's not running in the context, which gives you the ability to create forms. Also, you can create a series of different actions as well, whether they're scheduled actions or triggered actions or manually created actions as well. There's also the ability to insert other lists like we did with the witnesses list. And you'll also see that we can add things like pages, permissions, and look and feel to our solution as well. And what separates this from our other tool, Lightning Forms, is the fact that you've really got the ability to create a package and then you can deploy it when you're ready. So Lightning Forms is a really powerful tool as well, but that allows the business users to be able to customize the forms within the context of SharePoint. This is more about building a solution that you get to deploy and maintain going forwards, so you can deploy it whenever you're ready to do so. So if we look at some of the existing modifications, you'll see in here that we've got the display form open, and just to show you a few things around the design of this, you'll notice that we've got the form settings button where we can control the size of the form. We also have the ability to add actions such as form load actions or command bar actions. So here we have the mark as resolved button on the display form there. And we've also got this process steps control, so we can always see where in the process this is. And if we go into the properties of that, you'll notice that all this is essentially doing is by linking it to a choice column, it will display those choices, and then we can go through and select different styles throughout our form that we may want to use. We've got tabbed controls as well, so you can very easily create new tabs within inside your form. You can name those tabs. You can also set icons that you may want to use within inside those tabs, and then just simply drag and drop the controls in there. Or you can also go through and change the row configuration as well to 2 columns or 3 columns wide, and then manually go through and select the fields that you want to display within inside that tab if you want to. So they're the different tabs. The tabs can also be set so that they display only when certain conditions are met. So notice that we've got the capability of adding an expression here. So it may be that you're a member of a particular group, or you have a certain role, or there's a certain property set within inside the form that would determine whether or not the visible condition is true. So we can go through and apply those changes also. And yeah, any calculations or anything like that that you may want to build throughout the form, you can also do that by clicking onto the configure expressions. We're only seeing the visible attribute here because we're inside the display form. If we were to change to something like the new form, you'll notice that clicking onto that expression configuration option gives you also the ability to set calculated values. We can also create validation rules with validation text and set default values and so on as well. Okay, so that's the type of thing that we can do actually with inside the form itself. You'll also notice what is unique to Lightning Tools Form Studio is the fact that you've got this things in the background as well. And the things in the background include the ability to define all of the columns. So you're not having to go back into the SharePoint list to create the columns and set the properties on the columns. We can do all of that from here. We then have scheduled actions as well. So as we're receiving incidents being reported, we may want to have weekly reminders notifying a certain group of people that they need to go in and investigate those incidents and resolve them. So that could be done as a scheduled action that runs weekly or runs monthly. In that case, it's running weekly. And then we've also got a summary report of any closed cases as well. And these don't have to run across every single list item. You've got the ability to go through and define a filter in here where you may just want to be running this against actions that have been resolved and closed, and not those on any incidents currently being investigated. Under the triggered actions, notice how we have got an incident updated. So a triggered action is basically any new items or any updated items. So as we update an incident, in this case, that could trigger a series of actions, and there's all sorts of different actions that could be triggered in here. So as we click onto the configure actions, you'll notice that we've got things like creating QR codes or adding other list items. We can delete an item or get items. You've even got setting permissions and applying retention labels and things like that that you can go through and create using the action builder. And once you're ready, you can create a package. So if we go up to our package at the top here, I'm just going to save the changes that I made. We can include what we like inside that package, and when we're ready, we get to publish it. So when we choose publish, we can choose an existing SharePoint site. If we want to, we can give it a title, give it the site URL, and that is then going to go through and deploy the solution with the forms, with all the automation, and optionally any permissions and other assets like images to the destinations that we set. So if you'd like to learn a little bit more about Lightning Tools Form Studio, please feel free to click onto book a demo, and we can certainly gather your needs and your requirements for your forms that you'd like to build, and we can go through and build a scenario during a demonstration. All right, I hope you found this useful. Many thanks.